I can imagine Sarada's or Sasuke's reaction when they find out that Naruto was Sakura's first kiss.
なんか見てるのが恥ずかしくなるってばさ。
Hi everyone! What do you think would happen to Hinata and Sasuke if Naruto stayed with Sakura? Hell, I wish I had someone like Hinata, but alas, I'm in a world full of Ino and Sakura. If Sakura were to stay with Naruto, it would be one of the worst things they could have ever done. Why? Sakura knows about Hinata's feeling for Naruto, and would she steal a guy that Hinata likes? That's a low blow, Miss Haruno.
I love you, Naruto.
And for the main point, was Sakura truly in love with Naruto? The answer is yes. You ask me why? Before you start denying it, I want to add that I'm not going to make a silly move by adding that it was platonic feelings, or that she loved him as a brother, the kind of annoying cliche that people use all the time to try to sidetrack the true meaning of the question. I don't know whether Sakura still has feelings at the moment, but I'm more than sure that she really loved him. The thing is, Sakura must have been in a state of limbo and genuine doubt between Naruto and Sasuke from the beginning, because the issue had not yet been resolved, and Kishimoto even started it during Shippuden's appearance. There was a time when he and his team were seriously considering changing the final pairings to pair Naruto and Sakura. Don't believe me? I'll prove that what I'm saying. In Data Book number 1, the very first one when the characters were still children, Kishimoto and his team had already paved the way by writing some very cheeky lines in Sakura's profile. She herself doesn't really understand her thoughts or feelings towards Naruto. She really likes Sasuke, but if you notice, she looks up to Naruto too. Right now it doesn't feel like love, but maybe there is a chance. What does it look like to you? She feels Naruto's spontaneous admiration and for some reason is now blushing. Also, there is a comic strip in Data Book number 3 describing Sakura's feeling for Naruto over time. At first, she saw him as a hindrance that stood between her and Sasuke, but over time she realized that this hindrance was actually someone who was always ready to comfort and protect her, so her feelings for him have changed, though she is still confused by them. There is a scene where they hug. Also in this profile, Kishimoto and his team described Sakura's meeting with Naruto after a timeout. It states that her heart beats faster at the sight of her childhood friend Naruto's unexpected and rapid growth. One has to wonder where these insinuations were meant to lead. Either Sakura was ready for a fight, or the author was playing with fire, teasing the audience for entertainment. But this idea that she has or could change her mind about Naruto has also been used frequently in the manga or anime itself. In the first episode, after Naruto returns to the village from his training trip with Jiraiya, when he meets Sakura again for the first time, she seems very awkward around him, noticing how he has changed and at the same time embarrassed by her own appearance. She blushed when she asked him if he thought she looked more feminine than before, and was disappointed when he said he couldn't see any difference. So we literally know that she blushed, and her heart began beating faster when she saw the adult Naruto. Only a few episodes later, after they finished Kakashi's bell test, they were going to celebrate together in Ishiraku, but Kakashi left them alone, to which Naruto cheerfully remarked that this meant they had a date. In the manga, the scene ends there, implying that they went to Ishiraku together. However, in the anime, it was instead shown that Sakura broke up with Naruto and went to another restaurant because he said he wasn't going to pay her bill. She just threw a tantrum at him, because deep down she regretted not going with him. After Gaara's rescue in the first Shippuden arc, in which Naruto and Sakura had little interaction due to fighting different opponents in different locations, an arc followed in which the reformed Team 7 went on their mission with Yamato and Sai to investigate Orochimaru and look for Sasuke. This arc was one of my favorites in the entire series, especially because I can hardly remember a time when Sakura was as sweet and friendly as she was then. She was protective of Naruto, and they had a lot of cute moments that I seriously advise to watch anyone who doubts my words. Just watch it again to refresh your memory. The most obvious moment during this arc was when Yamato made the statement that he could easily see that Sakura had strong feeling for Naruto.
Sakura, 君を見ていたらわかる。君は本当は。
Things get fun when Sai starts participating in the group interactions and tries to use Naruto and Sakura's relationship as a basis for learning some social skills. In this third arc, there is a scene in which the trio eat ramen together, but Naruto complains that he can't eat properly because of his broken arm. Sakura then offers to feed him, making him blush at the thought. But Sai accidentally spoils the moment by offering to do it himself instead, naively assuming the gesture will be appreciated. Another time, it catches our eyes after Naruto defeats Pain and saves the village. The villagers surround him while his friends approach to greet him. Hinata stands by without any attention. Then suddenly all attention turns to Sakura, who stands alone with Naruto in the middle of the circle, approaches and hugs him warmly, while everyone stares with shocked eyes. I mean, why Sakura of all people? The zest they gave her in that scene was exactly what you expect if she was his girlfriend or something. It was strange to watch this, thinking that they were just friends like everyone else. You can also point out all the obvious hints that do not directly speak of Sakura's feelings, but the most vivid of which is Kushina's dying wish that Naruto should marry someone like her, while Sakura has been implicitly compared to Kushina several times, even by Minato personally. Needless to say, Hinata has absolutely nothing to do with Kushina. Hope you get the vibe. If you want to know how I explain the end result to myself, Sakura fell in love with Naruto too late, when he had already given up on her. He dismissed her quite emphatically when she came up with this convoluted fake confession that may not have been completely fake to begin with. But the point is, from that point on after the Pain arc, Naruto basically started shipping Sakura with Sasuke. That's why Naruto is stuck in the friend zone with Sakura. She was one of those girls who liked it when boys are a little bit rude to her. That's why she fell in love with Sasuke. Look at how she followed Naruto when he yelled. If Naruto had acted like the entire episode, Sakura would have gone crazy for him. By the way, notice how Naruto gained so much confidence that he had to walk around with his legs spread because his balls got 10 times heavier. That was really hilarious. In the beginning, when the franchise has just started, there was an original project that was radically different from the final product. For example, Naruto was the son of Nine-Tailed and the village was in modern, real Japan. Then there was a character who was meant to be Naruto's love interest, and that character was Hinata, one of the few original ideas which have made it into the official release. Some people conveniently point to this fact as proof that Kishimoto had everything planned far in advance, that Hinata was always going to end up being Naruto's wife, which is completely wrong when you realize how the author basically changed all his original concepts or how he kept writing the story arcs without really caring about long-term consistency. In fact, it comes as a huge surprise to me that Hinata was almost the only element that survived from the original draft, which only happened because people loved her cuteness and hated Sakura's straightforwardness during the franchise. But you can easily see how everything but the love interest has completely changed even for these two. Sakura was originally supposed to be a minor character of the same importance as Kaiba, while Hinata was supposed to be more prominent, and that's the only reason she was supposed to be Naruto's love interest. But Kishimoto enjoyed describing Sakura and quickly decided to give her more protagonism by pushing Hinata aside, which logically opened the window to change something. One would have expected the story to develop differently, and it did, as I demonstrated just several moments ago. I think the final push to leave Naruto with Hinata was a technical decision made rather late in the game, among other reasons, because nothing else could reasonably be done with Hinata, since her only character feature was her love for Naruto, and because Sakura was not well liked either as main character or as a love interest for Naruto. She lost a lot of her heroism by the end of Shippuden. Also, either killing Hinata or giving her another love interest won't work, especially the second option. Like I said, the one thing she's always been known for is her interest in Naruto. Making her love someone else would essentially kill her. I sincerely hope I explained something useful to people who didn't know about these things. Hinata's reaction. Hinata would be devastated. She's loved Naruto since they were kids, and it would be like a stab in the heart if he married someone who supported the relationship between him and Hinata. Hinata would still be happy for Naruto and wish him the best, but she won't stop to think about what might have been. I used to always cry and give up. I made a lot of mistakes. But you helped me find the right path. I was always chasing you. I wanted to catch up with you. I always wanted to walk beside you. You changed me. Your smile is what saved me. That's why I'm not afraid to die protecting you. Because I love you. Hinata Hyuga, Naruto Shippuden. She knew that there was something between Naruto and Sakura. She knew that Naruto had romantic feelings for her. Hinata would be crushed. She might never love anyone again and just marry someone else because of her responsibilities. But Hinata, who is always happy to love him even from afar, would do so all the time. She never asked for anything from him, and she never begged. She was unselfish in her love for him. Hinata would just be happy knowing that he was happy. Naruto had no interest in Hinata for 2 years. In fact, it took him 8 years to say "I love you." She tells him about her love, and yet it still takes him 10 million years to realize that they were meant to be together. He never said he was in love with her during the war too. He seemed to just go with the flow and do his things. He was working, partying, and learning to cope with his newfound status. Sakura's lack of Sasuke-kuns may have bothered him, but overall, they were still close. They were best friends. They ate together. She became his personal physician with his blessing. They studied together, and Sakura just seemed different. Some of the guys occasionally hinted at Hinata's interests, but Naruto was no fool. He could feel bad because he thought it was better to ignore her feelings, so as not to reject her completely. Hinata was a difficult subject for him to discuss. What should he say to her? What could he say that would make her understand? He felt he owed her, and he hated it. This scenario may suck for Hinata fans, but if you apply it to real life, Naruto and Sakura had great chemistry over the years, and neither of them is perfect. But if Sakura had decided to give Naruto a chance and was sincere about it, he would have taken it. Hinata's feelings do not give her the right to be with Naruto. Naruto had feelings for Sakura, and if that happened, Hinata would have to find a way to move on.